Hey folks, Jim Dexter at Tactical Sound Training Center and Walter Arms Defense Division. Want to real quick go over the differences. Blue Alpha came out with their new 2-inch duty belt light. I wanted to do a quick comparison between the original duty belt and their current version now of the duty belt light. So I first went back and looked and found out that I first got my prototype duty belt from Blue Alpha back in 2018. I think it was like June of 2018, and it's been my duty belt ever since. It did everything that I needed to do at the time. And so when the duty belt light just came out now, I got sent one to check out, and it has very quickly become my new duty belt and replaced my old tried and true prototype that, as you can see, is still going strong. I took my stuff off and put it on the new one and retired this one now as, I guess, a training belt. Some questions have been asked about it. So people are wondering, should I upgrade? Should I switch over? I'm definitely not one of those people who says that every time a new version comes out, you need to jump on board with it. Look at it, see what the upgraded version does for you. If it does some stuff better or it does what you need it to do more than the previous one, then yeah, invest in it and buy it. If it doesn't, then the old one may suit you just fine. So real quick, I'm going to go over some differences or the upgrades in the new light versus the original duty belt. See, the original duty belt, first off, the versions that I run are the Molly version, and I've chosen the plastic buckle. So I chose the plastic buckle on the prototype belt because I just wanted to see how it would run and if it would hold up. Well, here's your answer. This is my original one. I've worn it every single day as a patrol officer, and it has held up just fine. I've had no issues with it. Foot chases, in and out of the car, scraps on the ground, fights, no issues. It's never come undone. It's still going strong. And so the plastic has just done what I needed it to do. They have retained the same option for a plastic or a metal buckle on the duty belt light. A couple people have asked me, about metal or plastic. For me, the plastic has worked just fine, and I know it works for me, right? But I don't see any reason to think that the plastic is any less of an option or any worse of an option than paying more for the metal. You want to pay for the metal, right? Rock on. It's going to do you. It's going to do you just fine. So the original belt was a layered webbing design, which gave it firmness, but I wouldn't say that it necessarily gave it any overt rigidity. As you can see, it has some twist in it. It holds itself pretty well to stacking. It won't pinch or bind. So it did what it needed to do. It had a adjustment only on one side, though, for the belt, which is one of the things that I wasn't an overly big fan of, especially in winter months in the Midwest. I got to layer up. It left me having to only choose one side to adjust from. And due to where the Molly was attached on here, I had to do it on the side that my mags rode on. And so what would happen was it would change the orientation of my belts a little bit, because with my gun sitting on the right side, it would move it a little bit further back than I wanted it to go. So I would end up with an off center or an off cant buckle on my belt. Was it a big deal? No, but it was a consideration, and it did only allow me to move on one side, and it minimized my ability to do some things with the Molly. So that was the original. It's been rough. The Velcro inside that meets up with the inner belt is still in great shape after all these years of on and off, and has held up perfectly fine. Now the newest version with the 2-inch Molly light, or the duty belt light. So you'll see the Molly cutting has changed on there. It's just a preference for mine to go with the Molly version, the way that I attach certain things. Might do a separate video on that. The biggest difference is this thing is super lightweight. You can see that it is no longer stacked webbing or layered webbing in order to get its rigidity. It has a Tigris core in it, or a Tigris center, which means that you get rigidity, but now you don't get that flex in there that you got with the layered webbing. This is it. That's as much as it is flexing, but it still gives a good wraparound. So it gives you good comfort. It gives you good comfort as far as wrapping around your body. But the way that it sits with the gear on the belt, I would almost describe it as if it floats on your waist due to the fact that you don't have that shift or that twist in the belt due to that tigress core in the center of the belt. And so it just gives a lot more support in your gear riding on your waist. The other thing that's different is adjustments on both sides. So now you have adjustments on both sides of the buckle, meaning that as the climate changes or as I move gear or add gear, I can choose where I'm going to make my adjustments from. I can make dual adjustments so that things stay in the same place. If need be, I can move these Molly-Don accessories over to another side to get the spacing correct, or I can just move one side and adjust accordingly, which is probably what I'm going to do. The way that I have this set up now is that I will adjust from this side to give me some more. And then I can make some adjustment with my pouches over here or the extension of that so that my gun ends up in the same spot with a centered buckle. I think it just looks better, and it's just a whole lot easier for donning and doffing my belt on a daily basis. So same Velcro inner liner here, looks just as sturdy and sewn on as the previous version. Again, plastic buckle, no change in that. I have full faith and confidence in that. So is this a worthy upgrade over the previous version if you have it? I think it is. It's a lot more lightweight. It's a lot more rigid. My gear seems to ride a lot more comfortably on my waist. I carry a full-size 5-inch steel frame Walther gun, so I'm with extended magazines on this side. So while I don't have a lot on my belt, I'm carrying a lot of weight on that side. And I have noticed a significant difference between the original belt and the light belt as far as comfort at the end of the day and movement of the belt itself with the rigidity that you get from the tigress inner core of this belt. And again, the dual adjustments on the buckle is just going to make it that much easier to put my gear where I want it to be with consistency. So I would say, yep, it is worthwhile to go ahead and give yourself an upgrade to the newest version if you're in the market to do so. But most importantly, remember, get trained, stay equipped, and be willing.